Why play Mel Support? Well, she is a great team fighter. She brings AoE lockdown, she counters so many supports with skill shots, and she's a decent lane bully. However, she is very immobile and squishy, and she's incredibly reliant on skill shots and landing perfect timings. Mel's passive is every instance of damage she deals to an enemy applies a stack of Overwhelm. The first stack stores a large amount of damage and any subsequent stacks apply a small amount. This damage doesn't do anything unless Mel applies a stack which drops their health below the stored damage amount, in which case the stored damage is instantly applied, dealing fatal damage. Mel's second passive is every time she uses an ability she generates 3 stacks for herself, and this can be stacked up to 9 times. This empowers her next basic attack to fire 1 additional bolt per stack. Mel's Q places a circle on the floor and then she fires bolts into that circle, dealing damage to all enemies within. At rank 1 this fires 6 bolts and will fire 1 additional bolt for every rank in this ability. And as each bolt to their own instance of damage, this can apply many stacks of her passive. Mel's W causes her to go invulnerable for 1 second and gain a small burst of movement speed. In addition, any projectiles that hit this barrier are immediately fired back at the source. Mel's E is a slow moving straight line skill shot which deals damage to enemies hit and roots them. In addition, the skill shot has a circle around it which constantly deals damage to enemies nearby and slows them. And this constant damage will quickly apply many instances of damage. Mel's ultimate has a passive where her Overwhelm stores more damage. The active deals damage to all targets affected with Overwhelm, dealing more damage the more stacks on them. For combos, land E into Q and attack. Use W to block or reflect damage into another attack before following up with your ultimate into a final attack. It's all about applying as many stacks of Overwhelm as possible before ulting. For matchups, she's great into immobile champions who rely on high impact projectiles, and she can struggle against aggressive engaged supports who don't rely on skill shots. For runes, take this, Comet feels pretty good. For build order, start Wild Atlas and Pot into a Ludens, tier 2 boots and upgrade to a Zazax. After this, a Shadow Flame is a great pickup before buying even more damage. For skill order, start Q then E then W before maxing Q then E then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Ignite. For synergies, she works amazingly well with carries that bring CC, making her E easier to land. Starting the game, you're looking to harass your opponent and make life easy for your carry to farm. This is very easy for you as minions don't block any of your abilities. So whenever your opponent goes to shoot a minion, throw your Q at them. And if you can also get your empowered attack into them, it's tons of damage. Your E provides you with a ton of pressure, as if your opponent missteps, the root will lead to tons of damage. However, when it's on cooldown, you do need to play safer as it's also what keeps you safe. Also, make sure to identify the key ability you want to reflect with W. Anything from Jin's 4th auto to a Jinx ult is amazing. Entering the mid game, take your tower as soon as possible and rotate mid with your carry. This puts you in the center of the map to siege and rotate for fights and objectives. Entering late game team fights, play as the backline mage. Root and slow as many targets as possible with your E while throwing out tons of damage with your Q and empowered attacks. Identify a big skill shot you want to reflect with W, and use your ult for massive AoE damage.